Hi there, this is David and welcome to new RPG news. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, from new Trails titles, as well as just Falcom titles in general, to some Final Fantasy news, to some retro remakes, including a possible Terranigma and Illusion of Gaia. Oh man, this is great. If y'all are new to the channel, please be sure that you subscribe for some more news, top 10s, reviews, and rants, and also hit that like button right now to show your love. And now let's go ahead and get started going through all these news stories. First up, Falcom reveals upcoming titles lineup, including unannounced Trails game, action RPGs, and more. They want to increase their development output from 4 to 5 titles per year. So that means that NIS America has their work cut out for them if they want to keep up with this. It says, the Trails developer said it plans to expand the number of titles it releases, as well as create new IPs and games. It currently releases 2 to 3 new titles per year, but as a mid to long-term goal, it hopes to increase that number to 4 to 5 titles per year within 3 years by strengthening its development capabilities. So, it then goes to give a lineup of upcoming titles. It says Title A is their Legend of Heroes Kai no Kiseki Farewell Ozamuria, which I talked about last week. Then there's a lot of different titles just in development that we don't really know about. The second title is a Trails series in development, probably the one that comes after Kai no Kiseki, more than likely. Then there is an action RPG that could be Ys, that could be Tokyo Xanadu, could be Brandish, could be Zwei, could be Gurumin. It could be just a whole new thing. We don't know. An unannounced title D just kind of in development. We don't really know what that could be. Then it says ported titles. Suspended development of 3 titles. Interesting. And we'll get to that in a minute, because it could be, 3 titles that are ported together, a trilogy. I wonder what that could possibly be. Yeah, we'll get to that. Then it says Legend of Heroes Trails 2 Daybreak on the Switch, which we know about. Then an unannounced Switch title in development as well. And then more unannounced ported titles for the PS4 and PS5 in development. So ported titles, maybe that could be like Ys 5, Ys 6. They could be porting a Switch title over to the PS systems. I don't think that Ys Memories of Celceta, I could be wrong. I don't think that came out for the Switch, so maybe that's Title E, the unannounced Switch title. Maybe they're porting Celceta over to the Switch. I don't know, but it would be interesting to hear what y'all's thoughts on all of what their different titles might possibly be. Well, would you looky here. Falcom is mulling over Trails in the Sky Trilogy re-releases on modern platforms. Really? It said that they held a Q&A session where the possibility to bring out the Trails of the Sky Trilogy to modern platforms was brought up via Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and read the question as well as the answer. This is an inquiry about some of Falcom's back catalog. The Trails series original games, the Trails of the Sky Trilogy, are currently unplayable on modern console platforms. While you can play them on the PS3 or the PS Vita, are there any plans to develop a version of the titles for modern console hardware? Answer. We're always thinking about ways to make our earlier titles available to more players. As for Trails in the Sky, we've noticed strong demand for the title both domestically and abroad. As such, we too want to figure out a way to make it available once again for modern platforms. While the Trails series has grown quite long, we consider Trails in the Sky to be our own ideal entry point to the series, and we want to re-release the game in some form, so we ask our fans to wait a little while longer while we consider our options. So it then goes on to say that in the West, you can play these games on the PC and the PSP, whereas the third game is only available on the PC. However, in Japan, all 3 games were also released on the PS3 and the PS Vita. It says they even got remakes. Why can't we get those officially here? That's what I want if it's already done. Translate them, port them over, bring them over. Why not? Apparently, they have that unannounced trilogy that they're working on anyway. Fate Samurai Remnant version 1.03 update now available. It adds new difficulty levels and new playable servants. It says here that you have an apprentice and fatal sword difficulty levels. You can control rogue servants and other teams during battle recollections as well. And you can play through as an archer, lancer, assassin, berserker, rogue saber, rogue archer, lancer, assassin, caster, or berserker. New difficulty levels, such as the Apprentice, which is an easier difficulty level for players less familiar with action gameplay or who just want to focus on enjoying the story. It has lower attack and HP values for enemy, and enemies will knock down for longer and the gap after attacks will be extended. The Fatal Sword is conversely a harder difficulty for players looking for more challenging battles. It has a higher attack and HP value for enemies, no retries, and no use of items during battle either. So if you're looking forward to playing this game and you want like a little refresh difficulty, now is your chance. The Relic. The first Guardian launches in early 2025. We have a new gameplay trailer for this. I've never heard of this game before, but maybe it's just newly announced. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to read all about it right now. It's coming out for the PS5, the Xbox, and PC in early 2025. Here's an overview of the game. It says, in this action RPG, you embark on a heroic adventure to save the world in the dark as the last Guardian. The once prosperous Siltis was swallowed up by the void created by the destruction of the Great Relic and transformed into the Land of Death. Now your mission is to find the pieces of the broken Great Relic and close the void. The game provides in-depth gameplay with thrilling battle and a variety of rune settings. You can grow your character with various skills in your own settings and explore the collapsed world while following an exciting story. You need to solve the riddle of Arsiltis, gather the pieces of the Great Relic, and lead the world back to prosperity. With last hope for the land, start your journey as a Guardian, gather pieces of the Great Relic, and close the void. Your adventure will bring it into a new era. I am not pronouncing that name again. So, if this looks interesting to you, be sure to look into this. Xuan-Yuan Sword 7 for Switch has been delayed to spring 2024. However, you can order the physical edition on December 22nd, so that's nice. This was previously planned to release in 2023, but now they've moved the window over to spring 2024. It says that it is currently in its final stages of development. If you do want a limited edition of the game, it comes with the game, the manual, the soundtrack CD, the art book, and a numbered certificate and a collector's box right there. Pre-orders are on Play Asia right now. It says that this already launched for Steam and the PS4 in Asia earlier back in October. So yes, looks here like it was PS4 and Xbox One worldwide back in September. I'd never heard of this game before, but hey, it's coming over to the Switch. It says it's an action RPG with frenetic real-time combat, visceral 3D presentation, and a rich cinematic narrative. It's a celebration of ancient China's landscape, civilization, and culture, infused with the mystique of its own legends in stark contrast to the anachronistic technological designs. Did this go through like a translation thing? I don't know. It's a world that's both familiar and mysterious, one of both science and spirituality, and one that's waiting to be explored. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is Game Informer Issues 362 cover story. It has 12 pages of exclusive coverage, and you can read it for free online without a subscription or anything else like that. So if you want more information about this, there's plenty there. It says, we spent 2 days at Square Enix's headquarters over in Tokyo, seeing new sections of the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and speaking to the legends of the team that made it. This cover story, along with our exclusive coverage spread out over the next few weeks, should give you a good idea of what to expect when the game launches in February. So how cool is that? They're getting, they got like exclusive demo stuff. They got to play as Kate Sith, who I didn't even get to play as whenever I played my version of the demo, but I still put out my thoughts and everything on the demo if you guys wanted to see all that whenever I got a chance to play it back during TwitchCon and everything. It was a lot of fun. So it looks like it's got even more, they're progressing more. They opened up a new demo area for them to play through. And 12 whole pages, tons more information about this game coming up. I am so looking forward to it coming out in February for the PS5. Sometimes you look at a gameplay trailer and it makes you really want a game. Other times you look at a gameplay trailer and you're like, ooh, I don't know about that. And this is one of those gameplay trailers. This is from Sandland, and it's talking about the Uniride gameplay trailer. It's only 1 minute. It's 1 minute of new footage, but in that 1 minute, I'm like, The reason why I say that is because, like, look how long it's taking him to defeat these enemies. And it's like you have to, like, aim the little gun at the flying enemies and like, shoot them down or whatever. And it's like, I'm not good at that stuff. Like, I am not good at that stuff. I am good at action RPGs where you have a sword and you get up really close to the enemies and you whack them to death. Or I'm really good at whenever a game is very nice to you and they're like, hey, you know what? You can't shoot a gun for shit, so we're gonna do auto-targeting for you. I like that. I don't see auto-targeting here. I don't know if there's homing missiles here. I don't really see that either. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm gonna be terrible at this game. So yeah, I hope it's good. Hopefully they make this gameplay a little bit better or easier for somebody like me who is terrible at this sort of stuff. I remember playing Metal Max games, Metal Max Xeno, stuff like that, and it had combat like this, and I'm like, I can't. It made me drop the game, honestly. It made me not even play it because I just couldn't do it. 3D action RPG AlternaWelt Blue Exorcist Gaiden announced for PC, iOS, and Android due out in summer 2024 in Japan. This is a 3D action RPG based upon the Jump SQ manga Blue Exorcist. I don't know, never heard of it. It says the game's description reads, a 3D action RPG set in the True Cross Academy town that appears in the original work, featuring a completely original story plus original characters designed by Kazuo Kato. Plenty of characters from the series will appear as playable, including Ring Okumuro and Yukurio Okumuro. So, yeah, if you're interested... so I butcher all these names. If you're interested in this, please be on the lookout for that. Now we have 4 different stories, all of them a complete blast to the past. And oof, this one's a blast to the past, not in a good way. I remember when I first got a computer. When did I get a computer? I don't even remember. I want to say that we got a computer. I may have been in, I don't know, it was a family computer. 9th grade? But it was stuck in the basement. We didn't do anything with it. It was 9th grade. We threw it in the basement. I never touched the stupid thing until maybe 12th grade. Then I got my own computer. And I remember I didn't use it for much of anything except that I did read that there were some computer-only RPGs at the time and I wanted to check them out. And there was Myst, and then there was Riven. And everybody said, oh, these are great, they're wonderful, oh, you'll have so much fun with them. And I'm like, okay, great. I was like, I'll try Riven, because it's the sequel to Myst. The sequel must be better. Oh my god, I've never played a more boring game in my entire life. This game sucked. And for now, whatever reason, it is getting a remake. It's titled New Discoveries from the Lost Deny Empire. This is first details and screenshots. I'm really just giving you the story because I'm trying to save you some pain. I didn't like it. Oh my god. I've never played a more boring game in my entire life. It's like, they call it an RPG, but it really wasn't an RPG. It was like, wander around and fight no enemies and do nothing except solve random puzzles. And you hit this switch on the side of the island, it makes a bridge appear all the way over here, so you have to run for 30 minutes to get over there. It was like, oh my god, I couldn't even deal with it. But I do remember playing this as a kid. Well, I guess I wasn't a kid. I was 18 years old, but man, hated it. I am on the ESRB website because guess what has been rated for a Western release? The Cosmic Fantasy Collection by Limited Run Games. If you've never heard of this game before. This came out, came out I want to say 92 for the TurboGrafx 16, and it was developed, or it was translated by Working Designs of Lunar fame, and there was only one game in this series that came out, but I want to say there's 4 games total, and this collection covers the first 2 games, so we're going to be getting both games in English, the first game in English for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and read what the rating summary here says. I've actually never played either of these games, even though I do have a TurboGrafx 16 emulator. I never had one as a kid growing up, but I never got around to playing Cosmic Fantasy. But it's a traditional turn-based JRPG, and I cannot wait to play it whenever I get my hands on this collection. It says, collection of 2 role-playing games in which players control Cosmic Hunter members as they battle space pirates in a fantasy setting. It has a 3/4 overhead perspectives, and players explore worlds, interact with characters, and battle humans and fantastical enemies in turn-based combat. Players use melee and magic attacks to defeat enemies. Battles are highlighted by impact sounds and colorful light effects. Some enemies and characters are depicted with small amounts of blood on their faces and/or bodies, and some female characters are depicted with partially exposed breast cysts and/or exposed buttocks. with occasional close-up camera angles. Oh, I can't believe he's talking about this. I can't believe he's talking about this. The dialogue also contains suggested material such as, "We'll have a little fun before Garam has his way with you," or "Found a dirty magazine. If you want to grab something, mine are bigger than rims." And the word "bastard" appears in the game. Oh my god, can't have that. Anyway, I just think it's funny, and I cannot wait for this to come out in English. Square Enix Yuzo Koshiro really wants Illusion of Gaia and Terranigma remakes! Yes, please! And while you're at it, can we just get like all of the Quintet games remade? Like seriously, I want Robotrek, I want Soul Blazer, like I want them all. They were so cool, they were so different, they were so unique. At least give me the Heaven and Earth trilogy. At least give me that. Maybe even Grand Stream Saga too while we're at it. Why not? Take them, bundle them together, package them all together. I'm all about this. I cannot even stand it. So he is the composer, the musical composer, and he worked on both games, and he has taken to Twitter to voice his support for more remakes of these Quintet titles. I mean, we did just get, well, not just get, but we recently got an ActRaiser remake, so there's that. It's not completely out of, the possibilities here. It says, ActRaiser has luckily come back as Renaissance, but other Quintet classics like Illusion of Gaia and Terranigma are still awaiting their revival. Despite the original development team having disbanded, we're eager to see remakes of these masterpieces and would like to support our support for them. I can't even stand it. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Square Enix did say that they are wanting to go back into their back catalog, and they do want to remake a bunch of these older games in like an HD 2D style, and they have been, and they've been doing a fantastic job with them, and I do think that the Heaven and Earth trilogy would be a great place to go into as well. And now our final story of the day. This is about a fan-made Zelda 2 game called Zelda 2 Enhanced PC Edition. If you want this, I would recommend going on Reddit immediately and finding this and downloading it for the big N has their way with it, because you know how they are. But it looks really cool. There's it's basically the exact same game that we all know and maybe somewhat kind of sort of love, just saying. But it has quality of life improvements that would make it a lot easier to love. It says, has a saving system where most towns have an NPC that will save your game, a dungeon map showing you the rooms to be visited so far. How nice is that? An overworld map that shows your immediate vicinity in the overworld and name of the area. Extra life dolls are permanent. When you're loading a save file or continuing after a game over, your lives are 3 plus the number of dolls that you've acquired. You still retain 25% of your experience whenever you continue after a game over. Saving in a town, though, will retain all of your experience. It says a HUD, I don't know what a HUD is. A HUD displays an icon of the stat that's next in line to level up. I had to read that 20 times. The background flashing is off by default and instead is solid red. This can be toggled to the options menu. Continuing a game from a game over starts you over at the dungeon entrance if you died in a dungeon. Continuing a game from the file select starts you at the town that you saved at. The spell chosen for the casting shows in the HUD. What is a HUD? I don't know what a HUD is. Your current MP shows as a number at the top of a spell menu. Unaffordable spells have a different color. Active spells have a different color, though they can still be cast. Wiseman now refill your MP. Low HP beeping is less frequent after the 8th beep. You only have to talk to the Riverman once to activate the Saria Bridge. Key count shows in HUD. Faster dialogue speed, and various other things. It just looks like a really cool little remake here, and I did also hear that there was a Link's Awakening fan game made recently, but Nintendo already dealt with that with the swiftness, but this one is still here, and I did want to let y'all know about this. So, that's it for this week's news. I do want to wish all of y'all a really happy Christmas and happy holidays, and be safe during this holiday season and everything else like that. And let me know what you liked most in the news, and as always, have a good day.